Hello and welcome back to my channel, Tarot with AnneMarie. Are you ready for some more tarot combinations and twists and turns by fusion? Fusion of cards, combining cards together. First of all, we looked at all the major arcana and went through them one by one. And then we went on to be able to show you how we could fuse two cards together so that you're able to bring a more in-depth reading, a more nuanced approach to your reading. The World card and the Four of Swords. So the Four of Swords, we need to rest, we need to recoup. And the World, as I said, is all about completion. The completion of what? Maybe the completion of you're so exhausted, you need that time out and you need to rest and recoup. I would actually say this person has done so much physically, intellectually, emotionally and spiritually that they are now in desperate need of being able to unravel their thoughts and allow their body to rejuvenate, to recoup and do nothing. So success can sometimes not be having a party and celebrating. It can be more to do with recharging your batteries, taking yourself away, allowing yourself to actually look at where things went wrong, things went right, what you would do next time, or just let it all go and allow yourself to do nothing. So that's very much what the Four of Swords is about. Let's go on to another. So if we fuse the Four of Swords yet again, now we've got the right card there, you can see the Hanged Man's there. Again, another card of stillness. If we look at the figures, they're not doing anything. Quite simply, this is time when the major arcana to have a different perspective, to look at things. If you're the Hanged Man, think of it as in he's looking at the world from upside down. So if you did a handstand, you would be able to see things from a very different perspective. That means turning everything round and doing nothing, because the Hanged Man is not moving. And Four of Swords, stillness. So this is a very big message to actually be still, to be quiet. Now, normally I say to you, what if we asked the question and we had somebody coming to you for a reading and they say, oh, what's going to happen to me at work? What I thought I'd offer you the chance to do this week is, if you'd like to ask a question using just the pair and the one that will stay the same, so it's not a reading, you are going to get the Four of Swords, but you're going to get another major arcana. Perhaps you could ask a question that you'd like me to show a pair of. So it's not about reading really for you, but if you can think of a question, that would be really nice. So let's just go with this one and say, the question is, somebody said, what's going to happen to me at work? I want to know about my career. I'm really worried. I've been really feeling unsettled recently. Can you see what's ahead for me? And we look at this and we go, you're not meant to do anything at the moment. It's a time of actually really going within yourself and weighing out, what do you want? And maybe it's, I don't know, I've overthought it. So then it's a quiet time. You have no idea about what's going to happen, but just go off and do your own thing. Have a break, have a holiday, have a duvet day, have one of those times where you are able to just relax, be tranquil, and just let everything just be. And before you know it, the answers will come, but they will not come at the moment, because you are meant to just take it easy and not start making plans for the future. A Chariot and the Four of Swords. What's happening to me at work? You've got the willpower to actually go forwards. I think things are very black and white for you in different areas of your life. However, your mental capacity needs to take a break before you set out on your mission. And it's one of those things that I would actually say, when you get a Chariot card, it's all to do with the dispatch of things. But remember that the reason I say mentally this person needs to take a break. Anybody know why it's mentally in this fusion today of what's on the screen? The Chariot and the Four of Swords, got the right card there. Tranquility, peacefulness before you dispatch things with the Chariot. The Chariot is saying, You've got what it takes to get it done. You are in charge. You are linking to your emotional self. If you want it enough, it'll happen. But something's saying you need to still the mind. Maybe you can go ahead and do all the other things, but the mind's running on empty, so it needs to be still. And really, it's probably a time to physically rest if you can. And you might say, how's that going to help me in my career? It just means it's not the right time. And Four of Swords is that pretty much all the time. But if you look at the other card, it might be telling you why. So the dispatch of things isn't right. We know that Four of Swords mentally is not actually helping out here, but the Chariot links to the 4th house, because the Chariot astrologically is associated with this card from Cancer, the sign, the water sign, and it's cardinal water. And you have that whole thing that says the 4th house astrologically is your domestic affairs, so things that go on where you live. And it's not so much relationships, because that's more the 7th house, and it's much more to do with what goes on under the roof of where you live. So that could be, you might live on your own, but there's something maybe causing you to not actually revive yourself with your sleep, and something at home, or there could be something on your mind about what's going on at home, what you've got to get done. Maybe you've got to move, maybe you've got to actually get the place spruced up, maybe you need a great big tidy up, maybe you need something new, and it's been one thing after another. All sorts of things that would cause you to say, stop, you're doing too much. Take the time out. Home's causing this. This is stress. You've had your battles, you've had difficulties. The dispatch of things is not going to happen. The Four of Swords is saying not now. It doesn't mean not always, it means not now. What else have we got? Let's try this one. What's happening for me at work? The Emperor. The Emperor is a card as in on its own, linked astrologically to Aries. It also represents being in charge. It's, if I would identify this with the daddy of the tarot, or the boss, the big boss. That doesn't necessarily mean this person is self-employed. We have another card that would actually tell you somebody's self-employed, which we'll be doing in our minor arcana as we go along. It's not particularly this, but this fused with that card would definitely tell you somebody's self-employed. All right, so let's just look at what we've got on the table. We've got the Emperor and we've got the Four of Swords. Being the boss, but needing to recoup. How's that going to answer somebody when there's, come on, tell me what's going on in my career? Same thing. In order to actually be logical, to be the boss, to be the father figure, to be the daddy, to be in charge, to actually make some logical decisions, it's time to have a bit of a rest, recharge your batteries. Don't feel that this is always about having a holiday or a sabbatical. It could be 40 winks. It could be turning around and taking yourself off for a walk in the middle of the day while you're at work. You don't necessarily have to take time off work. But it's definitely a case of something's telling you there's an overload going on and you need to go within and go into a mental retreat or meditation. And people say, oh, I can't meditate. Understandably, but there's different forms of meditation. It's guided meditation, it's visualization. You can be in meditation when you actually intend to watch something or read something and find yourself daydreaming. Daydreaming is a form of meditation, the best you could have, because then you're really just allowing what makes your mind feel relaxed to sort things out. Don't feel this is a card of, oh my gosh, he looks dead. It's saying needs to be that kind of peace, that tranquility, that calm, that solitude. So they're saying to you, hang on a minute, how are these two cards going to tell me what's going to happen? If you want to be logical about what you're doing at work, you need to regularly be aware that your mindset needs to decompress. Oh, but what's going to happen? We are not being told what's going to happen. We are being told what the background effects are with the Four of Swords. So it's mentally, nothing's going to happen if you carry on like this. You need to get this sorted first. The major card is telling us the major influence that is already in play for that person. But it's the second card that's telling you yes or no with the current situation. What we need to do sometimes is get that second card changed if it's a delay, like the Four of Swords obviously is, even if the delay is 10 minutes or whatever. We need to see if we can actually say, if we do that, will it get better then? So that's what you're looking for in your spread, in your cards, to be able to piece by piece. If I do this, I know I'm not ready right now. I know I've got the potential. But then we've got to look at whether or not you can actually fuse that together and work at that. And how that is how is your mental state? We've got to look at your emotional state. But the one that would tell us whether it's actually happening or not is action and productivity. Action is wants. It's the things that we make happen. You want a cup of tea? Don't think about it. Don't go, oh yeah. You've got to go and make that cup of tea. If you make it, you'll have that product. You will have your cup of tea. Simple as that. So you've got to know your suits. So the biggest thing I could tell you is combine your suits, i.e. your minor arcana, that's why you're doing it, with a major card, always. And people don't get it. Just divide your deck into two. Once you've divided it up, you'll be able to pick one card from the top of the major, one card off the top of the minor. And then you'll have two cards. I'm giving you an example that the card that we picked from the minor arcana is going to stay the same tonight because we're not doing readings. We're teaching you what the Four of Swords means and how it can change so much. You might go, it's not changing, because really we're saying to them, not now. Yeah, but look at what details you're getting from the major card. Look. Are things at work going to change for me? Yes, there's brand new beginnings coming. How do we know that? The Fool. Oh, when are they coming? Are they now? No. You need to actually take a break. You need to calm down. You need to let your thoughts just settle so that you have had your rest, that you've recharged your batteries, and then you can go on to what the Fool's telling you to do. And you asked about work, so there's something brand new at work. Absolutely there is. But it's not right now. That doesn't mean forever. So in our spread, we'd look and see, is the suit changing? Or if we're getting swords, is it getting better for them? Or are they getting in more of a pickle? It's like snakes and ladders. And so that is why you only need one spread. And that is why this system can take out the guessing, my intuition, my psychic self. You need to know your cards. And you also need to know your astrological signs, because if you do, you'll know who is who. My clients phone up and they go, I want to know about Virgo. And I go, what's your sign? And they go, I'm Taurus. I know exactly what cards I'm looking for. Major Arcana, I'm looking for the Hierophant that connects with Taurus. And Major Arcana again, if it's Virgo, I'm looking for the Hermit. And then there's the minor cards. Then I've got the positions of where Virgo is in my spread and where Taurus is in my spread. Now they're going to start asking questions, and I'm going to look at every court card that relates to their astrological signs. So that's how you know who is who and where to look. It's just a map. It's like anything. You can learn it, and once you apply that study to it and that system, you are able to do it. And people say, I just want to use my intuition. That's fine. But you will probably find that you cannot do 8 hours calls or emails or mind, body and spirit, or soul, whatever you want to call them, psychic sort of exhibitions, you won't be able to do them because people are not going to want you to sit there having a cup of tea when they are saying, I've got to go in a minute and I really would like a reading now and I've not got long, I've got to get back, and how can you help me? And you're going, oh gosh, I need a rest. This is the card, by the way, that is telling you need a rest, but let's hope it's not in your capacity as a tarot reader. Sometimes you do need to. And people say to me, how can you keep going? It energizes me. I don't get drained from my readings. Why? I use great big sort of crystals all the time. There's a massive one right next to me, amethyst, but as always, I must have 40 or 50 small ones in here and really big ones. I've shown you this before, but there you go. That's a piece of amethyst. It's quite heavy. Yeah, I'm sure someone's going to tell me exactly. Oh, I need the lights in here. It's beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. And I haven't just got those. I've got every colour under the sun. And although I'm not a crystal expert, need a coffee after that. Although I'm not an expert in crystals, I use them a lot and I choose what I feel I need. There's rose quartz in every room. And there is aventurine in every room, citrine in every room. Why? Because that is the balance of our finance, our well-being, our health. I've got things that are black in colour to actually make sure that I'm protected from anything that's not healthy, not so much people, but anything. And they're cleansed all the time. But the more that you confuse everything together, the stronger it will be. I wouldn't dream of turning up to do a reading without having a crystal. Why? It's not, yes, you can use them to protect yourself, but it's to amplify what's happening. I've got them in every single room. I've even got, this is a terminated quartz crystal, and I blue tack those into all the pipes that are connected to water. So that's the sinks, the bathrooms. Can't really get down in the shower and do it, but where it drains, I've got a tiny little crystal just sitting in the drain in every room that's got that. So that's our bathrooms and that's the kitchen. Toilets, the U-bend of the toilet. Why? So that we're trying to make sure that any waste that goes out of those pipes is the waste that should be going away, taking the waste away, i.e. things we don't need, and making sure that we're not draining anything that we wish to keep, like our health, our finance, our home, our peace of mind, people in our lives, those kind of things. Yeah. So yeah, feng shui. The more you bring things together, the easier it is on you. I wouldn't limit it to just being a psychic or just actually using your intuition, because once you've got a system, everything you've already got will all come in together, and that'll make you unique, and that'll make that you are really enjoying yourself, because there's no one like you. But you need a system, and I tell you need a system not because I do the courses. I did the courses because there is a system and nobody was using it, nobody knew it was there, because it's mine and I adapted it. But people were coming in for readings and they wanted more readers, and I was trying to actually hire psychics and mediums and people to do the readings, because it can't just be me, and we'd got so much work, but they were only able to do 2-3 minutes, and it's just, no, I cannot take you on. You're not going to be able to do this. Oh, but they could ask another question. That's hard work for people. They want you to actually put out the spread, answer their question, and keep things going and tell them what's likely to be happening in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months. And with this method, you're able to learn so much more. But if you want to know more, you've really got to go onto my website, tarotwithannemarie.com, where the courses are there, and it's all linked with astrology. Everything is really simple, step by step. But if you don't know anything about cards, go for the beginners, where I teach you major arcana, the court cards, and all of the suits, the 4 suits. So it's up to you. But don't try and do the advanced, because that's part 2 of the course. So you'll be doing it going, oh gosh, I've got 1 to 10 missing here. That's because the intermediate follows on with the advanced. All right, let's do another. So that was definitely a good one. We knew that there was something good. What about this one? What's happening for me at work? Yeah, that was a big crystal, Margaret. Yep. Got one twice as big as that. What's happening for me at work? The Empress and the 4 of Swords. What's going on here? Anybody know what the Empress means? What's happening to me at work? You don't think you're valued. All right, things of value. You're not feeling valued. But that is probably because you're so tired and so in need of rest, of peace, of being able to just let your thoughts, to let your head stop. Let your thoughts just be. Think of nothing. And if you want to think of when you were 5 or what you're going to have for dinner tomorrow, that's daydreaming, that's fine. Just don't make it that you are overthinking. But in this case, this person cannot think about the value they bring because they need to just go, gosh, I'm so exhausted. And due to that exhaustion, they're not in a position to be able in any way, shape, manner or form. It's the person themselves that cannot see the value in themselves. And the reason for that is probably tiredness, needing to take a break, needing to rest, needing to recharge batteries, needing to recoup. And while ever they cannot see the value in themselves, no one else is going to see it either. Yeah, that's just how it is. Let's say this person really does need to value themselves, and they will see the value in themselves if they are able to actually have some peace of mind and some time out and recoup and recharge their batteries. Then they'll be able to go, actually, I know what value I bring to this. And that's brilliant. What about this? How am I doing at work? Hierophant. People find this card difficult. A Hierophant is a card of authority, of powers that be. And did you know that the Hierophant can really represent HR, human resources? Yeah. So when that comes up, how am I getting on at work? It's saying HR aren't taking any notice of you, are they? And you might go, why? There's no action there. Yeah. Maybe you need to have a little think, take a little break, and go after the people in authority, either the likes of HR or the people that actually, if it's not big enough to have human resources, then you really need to actually look at who you can speak to in authority, because you're feeling you want to move on or you want to talk about your prospects. And of course, the 4 of Swords is just saying your communication at the moment won't go anywhere. If you can't make sense of it, no one else can. So that is really what this is all about. So let's have a look at that one. The Hermit. Did you know that the Hermit is associated with Virgo and it's associated with the 6th house? The 6th house is in our natal chart all about our daily routine and work. So at the moment, what's happening at work? 4 of Swords. It's time to do nothing. It's time to actually go within yourself. Now, the 4 of Swords is talking about going within yourself, but the Hermit is definitely saying you need to go within yourself. But the Hermit is also saying in your daily routine, this might be something you need to do on a regular basis. Power naps, something where you have time out, something where you're able to recharge. But also, remember I said that the Hermit is related to the 6th house, and that's work. So it's saying at the moment, you would really need to look at things as in where you are going to reconfigure what you want to do at work after you took a bit of a break. That's as simple as that. And in order to make sure that you have that break, the Hermit, of course, there's nobody in that card with him. The Hermit means solitude, doesn't it? So does the Four of Swords. So it's imperative that this person connects with themselves and doesn't have any background noise going on from other people in order to be able to arrive at a conclusion and a healthy decision. Let's see what this one does. Ah, good one. I'm going to make this the last one, everybody. Tonight we've got the Death card and we've got the Four of Swords on the screen for you. Death card is all about transformations. What's going to happen to this person at work? We could answer quite simply, there are transformations, but not at the moment. You actually really need to connect with yourself and figure out how you can recoup your strength in order to be ready for those changes. And those transformations will actually come. Something here where if you want to change, you've got to change it, and you've got the possibility of doing that. Always think of the Death card as in rebirth, transformation, things that will. Nobody likes change because we go, oh gosh, I'm nervous, or I don't want it, or it's been pushed on me. Sometimes we want change, but when we get it, we're actually not able to cope with that. Four of Swords is saying, if you recoup, recharge your batteries before the changes come, boom, you're off. And emotionally, you'll actually really go very deep. Why? Death card is associated with Scorpio, and Scorpio is all about great depth and it's all about transformation. And you'll feel it very intensely. Feelings, why? Because it is a sign that is fixed and it's water. So it's fixed water. It's one of those things where you're going to feel this really intensely, so you better get your 40 winks or your good night's sleep or take your sabbatical or look after yourself because changes are coming. So yes, very much changes are coming. Therefore, you need to be in the best zone possible, and mentally, at the moment, you're not up to it. So allow yourself to actually recoup, recharge, be ready, and off you go. You'll be able to go through those changes. What's going on for me at work? Temperance and the Four of Swords. What does temperance mean when we are asking the question about work? And the Four of Swords is the background effects involved. In order for you to progress at work, you are in a position here of needing to perhaps grow more, to learn more, to be able to maybe multitask more, maybe to bring two things that you are good at together. Why? Temperance is about the blending of two things together. So it's like how I teach tarot. It's very much the fusion of two cards. It's a system. It's a fusion of astrology and the cards and numerology. Yeah? So there's an awful lot that is combined to make it very different. People and my intuition and so much more. I haven't got time to talk about all that comes up. If I went back over what I've studied over the years and been doing this full time for 30 years, there's no way we could ever get that down in our short time together here, is there? But the fusion of that, the blending, strengthening, bringing something together. And temperance is linked to Sagittarius. Sagittarius is fire. And Sagittarius is about higher learning and long distance travel. So something's on the cards here by you blending something that's already within you. Oh, I don't know what that is. We know that because the Four of Swords is saying you can't think straight. When you are rested and when you have recovered from having the right amount of sleep or having a break from people, you're in a complete different mindset to actually go, I know what it is. I do this and I do this, and if I bring that together, that's perfect. And everyone then is going, we want to learn how to do that too. There you go. Why do I say that? Remember I said Sagittarius, Temperance card is linked to that, is also to do with education, higher learning, all this kind of thing. So can you see there are so many different things that you can get from your cards if you know the meaning. Now, A lot of people have bought the courses, and when they've bought the courses, they've jumped straight into intermediate and advanced, or advanced and realised, I need to go back to intermediate. And once I've started talking about the system in the course, it's all recorded on video course. You can watch it anytime you like, anytime you please. Go back to it as many times as you want. Nobody's taking it away, it's yours. It's on my website. And you are then in a position to see, hang on a minute, I didn't know that astrologically. I didn't know that was that house. Therefore, maybe I need to dig a little and go down that road a little bit more with astrology, or a little bit more with, do I really know the basic meaning of each card? Temperance. I had some really good readers that were very psychic and never spoke about astrology, but they knew their cards, or they knew their intuition, and they were just somebody that had done it forever and knew how to give readings to people. So they knew how to actually say somebody wants an hour or half an hour or 2 hours with them. They were able. But for people that are just trying to learn something from a book or from cheat sheets and say, I'd really like to actually do more spiritual work and give up the day job and just do my spiritual work, you're probably not going to be able to pay the bills if you are not able to give the value of what people expect in a reading. I know the internet makes it look as if everything's in 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, or 10 minutes. Everyone makes it, you can build a house, so you can do this, so you can do that. We know that. But they're only showing us what's entertaining, and I don't mean they're missing anything out. We don't want to see, I got up and then I had a coffee and then I did this and then I had realised I hadn't got the right tool. Oh dear, then that tool broke and then I needed cement. Who wants to know all of that? They'll whiz through that really quickly and make it look like yeah. But sometimes you don't go to school and university and it's all whizzed along like that. So think of it as your education that will actually help you go, I really want to learn this. I really want to know. If you wanted to learn a language, best thing you can do is talk to people. But it's also helpful if you are looking at books, if you're reading children's books, if you're using the system, maybe specifically for the software that you choose for the particular language that you wish to learn, all those kind of things. Incidentally, Temperance card, I'm talking about learning languages, does relate to the fact that there's a possibility of maybe connecting with overseas and working overseas, but not now. Why? It's not a timing thing. It's just simply, you need to recoup. You're in no position to do anything. You've got to have some rest. It's like saying, can you drive me from here to Scotland? Can you take me on a journey? If you have not had sleep or you've not had the correct mental breaks, it's dangerous or it's not advisable. If you look at the Four of Swords, remember, power naps, 20 minutes, 40-minute breaks, 40 winks, call it what you want. Meditation, time out, walk outside, get some air, go to the park, get out of your office, whatever it is that actually allows you to be on your own with your own thoughts and to try and not think about anything, and yet all the thoughts will jumble and you go, oh gosh, my mind was going so. That doesn't matter, because you are not thinking about solutions to problems. Better still, good night's rest, healthy mind, healthy body, the potential is there. Don't forget, on Thursday we will be doing the Five of Swords. Now, I would say do not miss that one. That's a very valuable card to know because it can be very complex, and if we go through the meanings on Thursday, then we can look at the combinations and how we'd go, crikey, that is a tricky card in respect of what do I say. Four of Swords, I hope that you get the message. Recharge your batteries. When? We don't know. We're just saying 10 minutes sabbatical, 2 weeks holiday, whatever it is. Incidentally, Temperance card in this case, as you see on the screen, could be saying You could really recharge your batteries by having a holiday abroad. Why? Sagittarius links to long distance travel, and it mixes and blends with other cultures. So it might not necessarily just be about working overseas, it might be having a holiday yourself to recoup and recharge. One of many things it can actually be. I hope that's helped, and yeah, it's all hypothetical, of course, but when you're actually looking at somebody, you'll know, because the rest of the cards will all bring a story together for you. My dear viewers, have a brilliant Wednesday tomorrow, and enjoy the rest of today, which is Tuesday, and I'll see you on Thursday at 5. Until then.